Hi there, and welcome to Lesson 2, Introduction to Computers. And today we'll be talking about ports, P-O-R-T. So what is a port on a computer system? A port is a connection on the computer case that allows you to connect an external device to your computer. A very good example, let's assume that you want to connect your phone to the computer. You will have to connect it through a port. You want to connect the monitor or the screen of your computer. Where do you connect it to the computer? It is basically through a port. You have a flash disk. I'll later explain what is a flash disk. I'll also show you a flash disk. You want to connect it to your computer. So where are you supposed to connect it? You have a printer. Yes. So I want to talk about the basic ports that you find on every computer system and the devices that we normally connect there. I'll be showing you pictures on the screen so that you can relate. So let's start with the first two ports, but these are very old ports. We call them the PS2 ports. They have been used for the mouse and for connecting the keyboard. They are normally round in shape, just like you can see from the picture. So the mouse port is usually green, the keyboard port is usually purple. But now, due to advancement of technology, you will rarely find any modern computer with those two ports. Nowadays, we normally use USB mouse and USB keyboard. So that is why we have the keyboards and the mice being connected to USB ports. So the next port that I want to talk about, the USB port. USB stands for Universal Serial Bus. Universal Serial Bus. The USB port allows you to connect USB devices. And a USB device is any device that has this type of connector that you're seeing on the screen. That is a USB connector that allows you to connect the device to a USB port. So we have very many USB devices. Like, for example, if you want to connect your phone to the computer, you'll basically use the USB port. Most of the printers that we have on the market, they are connectable to the USB port of a computer. You want to connect a flash disk, USB port. A memory card reader, USB port. No wonder why you have several USB ports on a computer. There are many in number. Now, the next port that I want to talk about is the Ethernet port, the network port. You can see it on the picture. The network port or the Ethernet port allows you to connect network devices, or it basically allows you to even connect computers together. You could be having your own laptop. I have mine. We want to exchange some files. The easiest way to do it is to basically use an Ethernet cable fitted with some RJ45 jacks or some Ethernet jacks. You can get that from any computer shop. Once we connect the computers, they handshake, we can now share data or information. We learn these in the later topics of our studies. Now, after the Ethernet or the network port, the next port we want to talk about is the serial port. So the serial port connects input devices such as joysticks. Yeah, we have some vinyl cutters normally connected to the serial port. So the serial port is what you can see on the screen. So you don't find it on laptops, but some desktops, they'll always have the serial port. And then the next port that we want to talk about is the VGA port. VGA port, VGA stands for Video Graphics Array. Some people say Video Graphics Adapter, VGA. It allows you to connect the screen or the monitor to your computer. And it's basically a VGA monitor. But now, due to technology advancement, we have other screens that don't support the VGA connection. Instead, they support HDMI. HDMI stands for High Definition Multimedia Interface. Like, for example, if you have a TV in the house and you want to connect a laptop to your TV, probably if the TV or the TV screen is a bit new, you'll find it having only the HDMI connector. As you can see on the picture, that is the HDMI port and the HDMI connector. The good thing about HDMI is that it carries high quality graphics. That is why we are having the HD as its initial abbreviations, standing for high definition. It's basically more high quality than VGA. And now the next thing you need to know is that HDMI also carries sound. So if you connect your laptop to your TV, home TV screen via the HDMI port and via or using a HDMI cable, it will carry even sound. If you're watching a movie, you'll be able to see the movie on the TV screen and also hear the sound from the TV screen. But now when you're using VGA, it only carries the visual. So if you want to transfer the sound, then it means that you have to use a separate cable for sound. Then the next port that I want to talk about also, it's not very common in most of the computer, but it's the DVI port. DVI stands for Digital Video Interface. It also allows you to connect the monitor or the screen, or any other display device. Remember, when we are talking about the monitor, it's not only the monitor that you normally use to display data. You could be using a projector. So it means that if you can connect a monitor via VGA, you can also connect a projector via VGA. If you can connect a monitor via HDMI, we also have projectors that can be connected via HDMI. If yours has got a DVI, digital video interface, you can still connect a projector to DVI. So all those three ports, they're basically display ports on your computer. And then from there, we have audio ports. In some computers, you only find one. In other computers, you find two. In other computers, you find three. But they're basically audio ports that allows you to connect either a headset, a microphone, a speaker, or any other audio device. And then in some computers, you'll find the parallel port. It's actually the longest port behind a computer system, but you don't find it in most of the computers. The parallel port allows you to basically connect parallel printers. We also have got some scanners and some high storage disks or drives normally connected to the parallel port, even though that's a bit uncommon. So that marks the end of today's lesson. We talked about computer ports. I hope you've learned something, and I hope you'll now be able to connect various devices in your computer system. One thing you need to note, the feature and the physical appearance of those ports is very different. Like, for example, there is no way a USB device will ever fit into a VGA port, and there is no way a VGA device will ever be connected to a USB port, because those ports are physically different. That makes connecting devices to your computer very simple, because you could even use your eyes, and I don't really think it's that easy to mess. But information is power. Make sure that you understand which port and what device is supposed to be connected to those ports. I was your teacher, Obed, and make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that anytime I post a new tutorial, you'll be able to follow. If you like the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you have any question, make sure that you post your questions on the comment section. I'll be able to follow with answers. And if you would want to enroll and take the whole course, take the examinations and get certified at the end of the course, make sure that you visit our website. That is www.obexictcenter.com. Thank you so much. See you in the next tutorial that will be talking about computer generations. It will be part 3, Introduction to Computers. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Obex online niko tayari. Kwa simu yako ama kompyuta, ka nyumbani au kwa cyber, tunasema elimu sio barrier.